I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty, but thou art rich. Welcome to the Black Excellence and Abundance Channel.
Former NBA player Junior Bridgeman bought Ebony magazine, and he believes he can return it to its former glory. Ulysses Lee, Junior Bridgeman, may be best known for his time as an NBA player in the 70s and the 80s with the Milwaukee Bucks. He had a solid 12-year career in the league, playing most of his time in Cream City, where they retired his number 2 jersey in 1988. Bridgeman was originally drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers, but was shipped to Milwaukee in the blockbuster Kareem Abdul-Jabbar trade. Bridgeman always had a penchant for business, and during his NBA offseason, he would study and learn the business mogul of Wendy's fast food restaurant franchise. Following his retirement from the NBA, he invested in the franchise and eventually became the owner of over 160 Wendy's and 120 Chili's restaurants before cashing out in 2016. Today, his net worth is estimated to be around $600 million. As the president and CEO of Bridgeman Foods, Inc., in 2017, he landed a deal to become the official bottler for the Coca-Cola Company. He didn't stop there, as in 2018, he signed a letter of intent to buy bottling operations in Canada. Bridgeman is a living example of how an athlete utilizes the benefits of his physical talents to forge a greater existence, making connections and expanding his economic potential. His NBA career was formidable and provided him the financial foundation to become an all-star player in the business world. His latest venture is adding the famed Ebony magazine to his incredible portfolio. With Bridgeman Sports and Media, a company also owned by the retired Bucks player, he was awarded the successful bid to buy Ebony Media Assets, which also houses the legendary magazine. He believes he can return the magazine to profitability with the right ideas and the right staff to execute those ideas. Ebony spent the first 72 years from 1945 to 2017 of existence in Chicago. Bridgeman, a native of East Chicago, Indiana, grew up roughly 30 miles from Chi-Town and believes the magazine can return to its glory days on the Chicago River. The magazine also launched as an influential monthly lifestyle magazine that documented the African American experience for better than 7 decades. Throughout its legendary run, Ebony has stood for Black excellence, showing people doing positive things that in many cases benefited everyone. The current media landscape is highly conducive to launching a publication. Ad funding journalism has sharply declined. Digital subscribers, bases for newspapers and magazines, have proved hard to increase. And that's not to mention the COVID-19 pandemic, which has crushed fledgling print and digital outlets. And yet Michelle G., who's been tapped to relaunch iconic Black magazines Ebony and Jet, said she's up for the challenge. She's taken over as chief executive after the publication's purchase. "This is personal for me," G said in an exclusive interview days before the sale was finalized. In describing why she wanted to lead the resurgence of these brands, the Oakland native cited a desire to build a company she would want to go to every day, one that celebrates the fullness of the Black experience and responds to what Black readers want from their media. She knows the path ahead for Ebony and Jet is daunting, but she knows it can be achieved. From the very beginning, Ebony and Jet has long chronicled Black and American history. These publications, would print stories that the white publications ignored. For example, the now infamous photo of Emmett Till's mutilated body taken by a Jet magazine staff photographer. This was the magazine's September 15th, 1955 cover, but white publications refused to print it. Or Monetta Sleep Jr.'s Pulitzer-winning image of Coretta Scott King holding her daughter Bernice in a front row pew at Martin Luther King Jr.'s funeral. Sleep was a longtime staffer at Ebony. For many, Ebony and Jet were early sites of possibility tools that they could use to access potential ways of being beyond readers' immediate environment and circumstances. It gave an up-close and personal look through visuals and written word at Black entrepreneurs, musicians, models, writers, and other celebrities who were underplayed or downright ignored by the other media. Ebony and Jet did for self. Bridgeman said he believes he can return it to profitability with the right ideas and the right execution. More important, he said, is returning it to a place of prominence in American culture. Nothing is ever easy, but this will be a labor of love. Growing up in East Chicago, Bridgeman said he viewed Johnson Publishing's former headquarters with a sense of pride. John H. Johnson was an American businessman and publisher. Johnson was the founder of the Johnson Publishing Company. His Ebony and Jet magazines were among the most influential African American businesses in media beginning in the first half of the 20th century. In 1982, Johnson became the first African American to appear on the Forbes 400 list. In 1987, Johnson was named Black Enterprise Entrepreneur of the Year. Johnson's first publication was The Negro Digest. Once the idea of Negro Digest occurred to him, it began to seem like a black gold mine. Johnson stated in his autobiography, Succeeding Against the Odds. He remained enthusiastic even though he was discouraged at all sides from doing so. Only his mother, a woman of biblical faith and deep religious convictions, as well as a powerful belief in her son, supported his vision and allowed him to use her furniture as collateral on a $500 loan. He used this loan to publish the first edition of Negro Digest in 1942. Although Negro Digest achieved some success at its height and had a circulation of more than 100,000, it was dwarfed by Johnson's next publication, Ebony, which was so popular that its initial run of 25,000 copies easily sold out. The articles in Ebony, which were designed to look like those in Life or Look magazines, emphasized the achievements of successful African Americans. Professional historians were recruited for the magazine's staff so that the contributions of African Americans to the history of the United States could be adequately documented. African American models were used in the magazine's advertisements, and a conscious effort was made to portray positive aspects of African American life and culture. John H. Johnson became a multi-millionaire, and his contributions to this society will never be forgotten. We are absolutely thrilled that Ulysses Lee Jr. Bridgeman has decided to purchase the Johnson publication Ebony and Jet to keep the legacy going. Thank you, Mr. Bridgeman, and may God be with you. The Black Excellence and Abundance Channel, where Black history is every day.
Thanks for watching.
Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And never forget, thou art rich.